Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Tea Time. And this is one of the first episode of the series which we are starting. We will be calling different administrators of different leagues, presidents, directors, and talking to them about cricket in Canada. The cricket is one of the fastest growing sports in Canada, or the fastest growing sport in Canada. And we want to talk about cricket with the administrators, what they are doing right to make it successful. Today, with me, I have a very, very successful cricket administrator who has been working in cricket fraternity over 20 years or almost 25 years at different roles. And not only that, he has been running one of the top, or you can say the best league in North America for over a decade, which is Toronto and District Cricket League. I have with me none other than Mohammed R, Sheikh. How are you, Rashid bhai?
Thank you very much, Salman, for that introduction. Alhamdulillah, I'm doing great, and thank you very much for having me here today.
Rashid bhai, I do want to ask, I did give a brief introduction about your administration roles, but can you tell us a little bit more about the different positions you have worked as in cricket administration?
Sure. I guess once you get cricket in you or administration in you, it just doesn't go away. My dad was an athlete. He was a sportsman.
Right.
And I was in grade 6 when he took me down to Badesi Sports on Richmond Street. It was probably one of the only, suppliers in those days. And I'll be aging myself if I tell you that was about 47 years ago.
Oh, wow. It's a long time ago.
Yeah. So he took me down there, bought me some cricket equipment, a bat, a couple of stumps. I was just getting into cricket. So I took it to school. We used to play outside. We're so new to the game that we took the face of the bat to hammer the stumps. We didn't even know that you had to use the handle, right?
Yeah.
And we started playing and got a few people to play. And then, in grade 6, I went and bugged one of the teachers. I said, teacher, can you go to so-and-so school and maybe ask them to come and play a game with us? And he was kind of reluctant, but I bugged him enough, and he did.
Oh, wow.
And this school was very close to Lawrence and Caledonia area, and the Caledonia grounds existed. So we walked across the street. The other school came over from about, 5-6 kilometers away. And with my equipment, both teams went there and they played a little game. We played on Caledonia wicket without a mat.
Oh.
No one even knew that much. Before it was a shale mat where the teams on the weekends would put the mat down. So there was no mat. Hope we didn't damage the wicket too much. But we played a little game there, right?
Okay.
And, then I got myself into cricket. I played in the T&D League itself myself as a junior. I played for a few teams, Kovad and Transac, both recently, have not on the scene anymore. And then I took quite a break. After junior cricket for, 5 or 10 years, we took a break, didn't play. And one day, me and a bunch of friends at a family gathering were sitting around, and I just said, you guys want to play cricket? And they're like, okay. So here I am phoning T&D and Commonwealth League and Etobicoke League and Hamilton League, and there was no email, there was no cell phones, so it wasn't easy getting hold of somebody. Finally got a hold of Leslie Subrine.
Out of curiosity, how did you get a hold of them?
You just had to find phone numbers or ask teams that, where can we find, where we can find this league, or who's the secretary of the league. It was quite a challenge, right? Or just going to a ground and trying to ask somebody that, hey, who's the president or whatever. So I did manage to get hold of Mr. Leslie Subrine,
Okay.
who was the president of the Commonwealth Cricket Association, also, in those days known as the Labatt's League. And he offered me a team. So we took him up, we went there, and it just happened to be that there was an AGM just a few days down the road. So he invited me to AGM, and I hardly knew him, but he started asking me for all kinds of help. Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? So I'm like, okay. Anyways, I went to the meeting, and I guess people saw that how I was helping or whatever. So there was like appointed positions such as registrar and statistician. And they asked me to be the registrar and statistician. So I said, okay, statistician, sure. I'm like, what's a registrar? This is my first time coming back to a league after so long. So basically, registering the players, keeping a registry of them.
Oh, we didn't have an internet database.
There was no internet database. There was no internet, period, right?
Yeah.
So I took on that challenge, and I did it. And I always believe in transparency and openness. So Commonwealth League was lucky enough to have three grounds in those days at Keel and Steeles, which was known as Keel Top, and they had a little clubhouse there. So
Right.
I created a match sheet where people would do the stats, and I had a fax number, so I'd have them fax in the results, and every week I'd go to Keel Top and post the standings. To me, it seemed like second nature, but everybody else like, wow, standings? Like, usually it's the eve of the playoffs, and we're trying to figure out who's in the playoffs. I'm like, wow, I thought this was normal. No computer, no database. Commodore 64. Commodore 64 VIC 20, if any of you young viewers have ever heard of that. But I would formulate
what
the
is that?
stats. What's that?
I don't know what you...
Commodore 64 VIC 20?
Yeah.
It's the very first computers that came out.
Okay.
Where you could maybe type like
Okay.
a computerized typewriter almost.
Okay.
They had the big floppy disks.
Right.
With the data,
Yeah.
or even the cassette.
Yeah.
You had to load the data. So I happened to have one of those in a printer, so I was able to do that. And I would formulate the stats on my own, like most runs, most wicket. Every week I'd have to look at all the match sheets and formulate it. But I took passion in it. And then I think right away within 2 seasons, I think people saw, the administrative factor in me and the skills. So I was quickly made the president of the Commonwealth Cricket Association.
Wow.
And at that time, Cricket Star, one of the websites that was there for cricket statistics and for scheduling, had just come out.
Right.
So quickly arranged a meeting with him, got it approved through the league, and we got T&D was the first one on this website.
Right.
And then Commonwealth was the second one on the website. So I managed to ask Commonwealth to go on that website and, bring more excitement. People can see scores right after, the weekend. They know what the standings are. They know who's maybe top batsmen, top bowlers, and all that. Did that for a few years, and I'll say there was some unrest, and some people decided to use some, backdoor tactics.
Okay.
To kind of take over the league.
Right.
Didn't matter to me whether I'm president or not president, so no sweat off my back. So continued to do what I was doing, continued to play.
But cricket, even in those days, had enough attraction for people to be involved into politics of it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, and then at that time, our team was also getting a little better, and then they were telling me, Arshad, why don't you take us to T&D?
Okay.
Let's go play T&D. So again, I started my hunt, a little bit of a website, a little bit of email by this time. So I guess I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. When I made the call, apparently a team had just pulled out. There happened to be an opening which would have created gaps in the schedule. So they said, hey,
Okay.
here's the schedule, here's the ground, you accept it as is and we're okay. Who might have said no? So we accepted it. And one of the great surprises, we all knew that in those days T&D was this big cricketing, like the king of cricket. Because other leagues they weren't as big and there wasn't as many leagues. And to the excitement of my team, when the first game in T&D was played at Toronto Cricket Club,
Right.
they're like, wow. I was like, wow, what did you do? Where did you bring us? You know what I mean?
That is a proper international level cricket
Yeah.
ground. It's privatized, but
Yeah.
it's still
And
one of the
still.
best in North America.
And to be welcomed that way to T&D was quite a good thing for my team. And after a few years, T&D was looking for a scheduler. And actually, I used to do some scheduling in Commonwealth before I moved to president.
Right.
So somebody said, hey, I know a guy. It's Mohammed Sheikh. He knows how to do the scheduling. He knows how to use Cricket Star. So I was approached and asked to put my name up for T&D election. Again, only have been in the league for 2 years. Didn't know anything about that, but I'm like, okay. So I put my name up. And there was also another gentleman, Dr. Bikram Nanar, who was from Yorkshire in those days. Two of us were sort of recruited for the board, and next thing you know, we had the most votes. And we got on the board. T&D board, basically, you don't elect, and we still continue with the same process. You don't elect the positions directly. we simply elect 12 board members, and then the board members choose the positions within.
Okay.
So I was made the scheduler, and I continued scheduling, and I feel very proud that I can say that I wanted to bring efficiency to the game. I wanted to bring efficient usage of the grounds. As you know, in the GT area, you don't get even an inch of green space on the weekend. It's fully occupied. Yeah. So I tried to think and brainstorm. You know, mind you, T&D did play junior cricket in the mornings, but there was still a lot of, in those days, there wasn't as many junior teams as now, so there's still a lot of ground space. So I actually can be proud to say that I came up with the concept of 40 over games where you play 2 games in one day on the same ground.
Oh, wow.
So you can pretty much double the number of teams you have. So that's how we decided to create the lowest division as 40 over. We're able to bring in more teams, and it worked very efficiently. You know, I mean, you got to end a little earlier than September because the days get shorter, but you know, till about the 3rd, 4th week of August, you're fine, starting at 9 a.m. in the morning and going till 8:30 in the evening and getting into 40 over games where you were only getting 1 game in.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. When you came up with this idea, clearly back then T20
Was not there at all. Not
So
at all.
What did people complain about going into a shorter format? I'm just trying to understand. 20 years
So-
ago, what did people react when they heard that cricket shorter term game?
So the good thing was we started it new in a lower division. So it's not like how we said that, hey, guess what, first division, you're used to playing 50 overs, now we're cutting you to 40. No, we left all those at 40, and we started a new division, at 50, and we started a new division
Okay.
of 40 over cricket.
Which is lower division.
Yeah, so people accepted it. Eventually, more divisions went to 40 over, and to your point, yes, there was some pushback, but we did some analysis too as to how many games actually were going quite to 40 overs.
Right.
And we presented the case. And to the naysayers, we showed them that, okay, you want 40 over cricket, 50 over, however, you're not playing past 40 overs.
How do you feel about well, I know I'm getting a little off track. How do you feel about leagues announcing tournament for 10 overs or 100 balls now?
I think it should have stopped at 20. Like I've always said, you know, I'm not born in Canada, but I was very young when I came here. So Canada/North America does not have the appetite for an 8-hour game. It's not there.
Fair enough.
It's not there.
Fair enough.
T20 you can get done in 3 hours, just like hockey, baseball. But even though hockey, baseball used to go 3.5 hours, if you notice, if you follow it, they're cutting down on time too.
Right.
They want to, even though it was a short game, they want to shorten it further. In baseball, now there's a pitch timer. The pitcher only has a certain number of seconds before he throws the pitch. Whereas before, he could take all the time he wanted. In hockey, they're speeding things up, right? So I think T20 should where it stopped, even though T10 is shorter. I just think that I would not want to be a bowler. Can you imagine?
Do you think the quality
10 overs in 5-day cricket, 10 overs in 50 over cricket. Wickets. 10 wickets in every format.
Yeah.
You just hit the ball. Like how bad is it to be a bowler these days, right? You know? So I think we should have stopped at 20. Yes, 10 over can be exciting. It's a little too short, but I think for me, I think T20 game is interesting enough, right? I just was at a game on the weekend, T10, World T10, a women's tournament.
Right.
And I said, where are they going? And somebody said, that's it, 10 overs are done. Like it felt like nothing.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to the topic you were talking about. You started with T&D.
Yeah.
Then, when I remember when I met you, you started to take on a bigger role in administration, which is Ontario, and then you have been vice president of Cricket Canada too. So, tell us about that.
Yeah. So, after scheduler, eventually I jumped to president of T&D after a few years, and I have been there for quite a while now. And through T&D, I held positions in Ontario Cricket Association. I was a secretary of Ontario Cricket Association. I was in Cricket Ontario. Ontario Cricket Association changed names to Cricket Ontario. I was a director in Cricket Canada. Before they changed the format, I was second vice president of Cricket Canada, and then they changed it to only one vice president. So I was also vice president until about 2.5 years ago.
Wow.
I take pride in it. Like, I've played a lot of cricket, but my kids played a little bit of cricket, not too much. I've done it all strictly for the love of the game.
Yep.
I don't sell any products. I don't have any kids that are interested in going. I don't have relatives. And I'm not trying to say that other people have the same motive. I'm just talking about myself, that
Okay.
I do this for the passion.
Okay.
Do I want to retire from cricket administration soon? Yes, I do. I truly do. It's not easy work. It can be a very thankless job. There's high expectations, and there should be. No one's forcing me to do this.
Right.
I'm doing it on my own will.
Right.
So no administrator that does it on their own will should have any right to say, hey, I'm volunteer. Okay, then if you can't do the job, then don't volunteer. Right? That's my thing about it. So we try very hard, and still continue with T&D, and trying to groom the new generation,
Right.
to come and take over. But I almost feel like the new generation doesn't want to take over. They just want to enjoy their life. They want to enjoy the cricket, enjoy the games,
But not take them
and go back to life. Yeah, this is in the summer times. It can be a full-time job. I have a phenomenal board that does some good work. That way I can just kind of oversee the operation and let them do it. But it's a lot of work. Can you imagine scheduling over 1,500 games, so many different formats, T20, 40 over, 50 over, ground restrictions, team restrictions, I can't play this day, I can't play that day, et cetera, et cetera. Junior scheduling, there's so many different formats of junior. Now we're into weekday cricket, so no
There are a few
stopping.
questions I'm going to talk about T&D specifically, because we're going to focus on T&D, but I want to talk to viewers about Mohammed Sheikh just said that his kids are not playing and he's doing for the love of the game. I am one of those kids who have been blessed to know him in early age, and I think any small milestones I had in my cricketing career in 20 years in Canada, it's because of guys like Mohammed Sheikh. He has, not just me, many other kids, I can name them, who have played very high level of cricket. He has picked us, dropped us to the games, picked us to the game, made sure that we are part of the right teams. And it's just, again, I'm repeating myself, and it's just not me. When he says his kids wasn't playing, I honestly felt that he was like a parent figure to me when we were kids and we grew up playing cricket here. So thank you from me and behalf of every other kid you have helped. Some of them made to the Canadian team, some have played GT20. So thank you, Mohammed. That's a lot of work you have done, and I know it's a thankless job. So next question I was going to ask, and it's a tough one. The number of games you're talking about, the number of positions you have talked about. You have personal life, you have a full-time job, and then you're doing this. There is political stress coming in as well. How do you handle that?
I on a personal level, I think I'm able to handle stress very well. In my professional life, I've had very, very stressful jobs. Where you're waking up to a problem, like you're waking up and you're like, oh, I'm not even at work, right? It's a matter of keeping myself calm.
Okay.
It's a matter of self-sacrifice, meaning I don't sacrifice my whole family or my friends. I'll sacrifice myself. If I had a busy, long day at cricket, if I had to go to the ground for a trophy celebration, I'm still gonna go home and tell my family, hey, let's go out for dinner. I might be dying.
Yeah, fair enough.
I just want to go and plop in bed.
It's a hard thing to do,
But
because
it's not fair to my family.
isn't it a hard thing to do, because it does take a physical toll on
Yeah.
you, not just mental toll. It just take a physical toll
Yeah.
on you. So all right, okay. So it does take a toll on it. Rashid bhai, the next question I want to ask, and I want to talk about T&D, and I'm going to talk about the number of divisions we have now, the number of division we had in the past, junior programs, weekend cricket, T20 cricket. We'll talk about it all, but over 1,500 games. At a point, it was very easily said that TND was the biggest cricket league in North America. It's one of the oldest league in the world actually, because the first ever international game was played between Canada and USA. If I'm not wrong, please correct me if I'm wrong.
It's actually, I think, the first international sporting event between
wow.
two countries.
That was
and
cool.
it happened to be cricket.
It happened to be cricket, and it was between Canada and USA.
Canada and USA, and at that time, either cricket already was or was made the national sport
Right.
of Canada at the time.
Right. So the question here is, I have heard claims within GTA, not outside, not in US, not in Texas, not in Houston, not in anywhere else in North America. Within GTA, people have been claiming that they have number-wise, they're the biggest league in North America. So what is happening with that, and why is that happening?
So, as leagues were expanding and growing, some of the board members were concerning themselves that why this, why that. I said, look, the more the merrier, right? The more the merrier.
Cricket is growing.
More the merrier. Cricket is growing. Let people play where they want to play. For every team that changes the league, 3 teams are lined up to come in. Every league in Toronto is full. There's no league. If somebody else's numbers have increased, I'll tell you that shortly, but it doesn't mean that somebody else's numbers have increased at the mercy of TDCA. TDCA remains full house, right? So the challenges, the cities around Toronto obviously are much newer. They're still developing, believe it or not, as developed as Brampton, Mississauga may be. If you take a drive out, there's still so much.
They're still expanding.
Barren land and room for expansion. And they've been able to, I can say that in my 25 years in TDCA, City of Toronto has created maybe 3 grounds, new ones.
Right.
We've had Ross Lord, Eglinton Flats, and Sunnybrook, which was the premier fields, as the city dubs them, that were around, and a few other grounds, not so great quality. So, whereas in Brampton, Mississauga, even Durham, even North, now Vaughan is in the picture. There used to be a few grounds in Vaughan, but then they stopped for many years. Now even in Vaughan. So naturally, more facilities allow you to have more teams. If tomorrow TND was to get 5 new grounds, believe me, they wouldn't go empty.
Okay.
The same number of teams would come. And I'm not saying it's us, everybody. BDCL League, Mississauga League, Scarborough League, everybody has to turn teams away every year due to lack of facilities.
I have heard there are wait lists for teams to join different leagues because the shortage of grounds league cannot take them. And I'm not just talking about TND, of course.
Season hasn't even ended yet, and we've already got 10 emails asking about next year.
Next year, okay. So this is a very controversial question, and I need to ask this. We talked about the number of teams. What about the quality? Because when we talk about specifically, and as this is my opinion, please don't get me wrong, when we talk about 50-over cricket, the quality which TND has produced, no other league has met it. That's what I feel. What do you feel about it? And secondly, there was a time when Canadian 11, the Canadian 16, who were picked for the red colors, they have to go through the top division of TND as a test to make sure they can go and perform. That's not the case anymore. So these are 2 partial questions. I think they're related. So what do you think about that?
TND has always prided itself on 50-over cricket.
Right.
Other leagues will have more shorter version than the longer. Some leagues now in GTA don't even have a 50-over.
Right.
I think there might only be 2 leagues. I'm not an expert, but I think TND and BDCL might be the only 2 that still play 40 over.
I think you're right, yeah.
I don't think anybody else plays 50-over cricket. And the quality, you can see the difference. When I say Super 9 in TND and another league, there's still a big difference in the professionalism, the way the teams are warming up, are there on time, umpires, right? So I still think that the quality is there. As far as players being picked, you know me
Right.
for a long time. You know, you knew of some controversies in cricket. You actually had called me once and said, "Is it okay if I go there to play?"
Right.
And my response to Salman and to any player, play wherever and as much cricket as you can, especially when you're young. Myself, and as long as I'm part of TND, will never get involved in that game of play here or play there.
Right.
Right? Play everywhere.
Because we're all working for cricket.
Right.
We want cricket to grow. We want sports to
Yeah.
grow. Yeah.
Now, when you said claim, yes, there is leagues larger than TND now. No issue. I mean, cricket in GTA is bigger than cricket in some countries combined, right?
Right.
So, but that doesn't mean because you have the most teams or a lot of teams that you're still producing inequality. You know, I can say this openly. I told you I believe in transparency. TDCA doesn't threaten their players like other leagues do. We've had a Ontario Championship very recently where players were told where to play. And I raised a concern with Cricket Ontario that certain teams have players playing for them that didn't even play the majority of their games in that league.
Right.
You know, last year, you know, I'm a funny guy. I'm a happy-go-lucky guy. You know what I mean? I like to make good comments and have some good laughs. And when I was watching the final, not this past Ontario Championship, the year before, I said, this looks very good. It looks like TDCA versus TDCA-B on the field, right? But it really wasn't TDCA. It was TDCA versus another league. But if you look at all the players, if you look at all their stats, they played the majority of their games. You know, they play everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, we're Brampton, Toronto, Scarborough, Durham. People go to Ottawa to play nowadays. Right? But where do you play the majority of your games? Right?
Makes sense.
And I'm only saying this here because you've asked the question. I don't run around on grounds or go out there preaching anything. Whereas other people try and stake claim that we did this, we did that. But if you dig deep down, what did they really do?
But you have been in very high administration position. People are going to ask you this question: why, if this is happening, there should be some sort of policies, because if it becomes the number game for people who are administrating the leagues, then it actually it might just damage the cricket itself.
Yeah, and we do get asked those questions, and you know, you can't control personalities.
Right.
And you know, I'm also an administrator. I'm by no means perfect. My league, my organization, everybody has their flaws. But once you try and do the right thing, once you try and follow your policies, you know, it should be okay. But I feel in some organizations, when it comes to following a policy, it's only done when it's a matter of convenience.
Fair enough.
When it's in their favor, they say, well, I'm sorry, that's not in the bylaws.
Right.
But then when they want to do something, there's a blatant ignorance for the bylaws.
Right. One last controversial question, and then I'm going to jump back to TND and the divisions. And I'm not talking about any specific league or person here, but we have seen around GTA in sports that they announce the board of organization body, but at the end it's one person making the calls, making the shots. But actually, and with conflict of interest, that is. That we haven't seen in TND. So what does TND do differently to make sure that there's delegation, the board is diverse, and there is difference of opinion within the board to make sure the cricket grows?
So, for starters, I've been around in TND for a long time, in cricket news for a long time. I am looking to retire and step away from administration. I mean, I'll always be involved as a helper and thing. Like you said, you just can't take cricket out of you, whether it be playing, whether it be administration. In TND and in my professional life, it's my personality and my nature. If you're a leader, be the leader. Don't be the leader and the doer or the boss. Motivate your people to do the work and let them do their work.
Delegate.
And if they make a mistake, coach them on how to correct the mistake the next time. Don't reprimand them or threaten to kick them out or whatever. Everybody makes a mistake.
Right.
So, in T&D, the way the board runs is, I told you I have great people. They do a great job. We have Pankaj, who does the treasury, collects the money. Mohammed Ali Siddiqui, who helps a lot out with the cricket clubs and the registrations and all that. Ali Zedi is just a
Zedi.
champ, man. Like single-handedly makes all those schedules, and making the schedule is one thing, but putting up to the demands of all the teams in schedule changes is,
It's hell of a
and as you know, T&D/Maple Leaf Cricket Club is where everybody wants to hold a tournament because of the five fields there. We're very accommodating in that aspect.
Yep.
For private tournaments, for Cricket Canada. Right now, Cricket Canada is playing there. So we're losing 2 grounds, for 10 days.
I know
right?
you guys lost a ground for KT. You're encouraging, you guys allowed it.
Yeah,
Yep.
right? So, he has to, Ali Zaidi has to put up with all that, scheduling changes, unfortunately, Cricket Canada never comes to you at the beginning of the season that they have games. It's really in the middle of the season, they'll tell you that we need these grounds.
Right.
Then it creates a lot of shuffling, moving games for him, right? Sanjay Joshi, great guy, runs the junior program, almost single-handedly because everybody else is busy with senior cricket. He's come up with some innovative ideas to get more cricket in the weekdays, better utilization of the facilities, and to have the youth get more games. Farhan Khan, vice president, and again, always there, when you need, working on discipline and working on other stuff. Hassan Mirza, who does kind of our secretarial work and promotions and stuff. He had a big hand in getting us the TD Bank sponsorship.
Right.
He does a lot of the social media promotion for us. Everyone knows Mohan Chandra Mohan, who basically is tasked to manage the affairs of Maple Leaf Cricket Club. So, hope I didn't forget anybody, but these guys do a wonderful job, and that's how, and I allow them to do their job, right?
I just want to add something on the lighter note. 1,500 games, managing grounds. I thought your staff, the board might be 150 people. You just named 8 or 9 people.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So these guys are and I think this needs to be clarified. It has been clarified many times, but none of these positions are paid positions. They're all volunteer. Is that correct?
They're 100% volunteer. I'll say thank goodness to COVID in the most positive way, meaning COVID taught us to have online meetings.
Right.
Before COVID, all the meetings were in person. They'd start at 7 p.m. because everybody's working during the day, and they'll go till midnight.
Yeah.
Right?
I've attended a few of them.
Yeah, and you'd be lucky if you got a pizza out of it. Most of the guys ate before they got there.
Yeah.
In those days, when we had in-person meetings, as a very minute compensation for gas, a board member would get maybe $250 honorarium to cover the gas expense. For the past 5 years since COVID, they haven't even got that. It's zero.
Okay.
Right? It's zero. So it's strictly, like I said, if we had more sponsors, if cricket was cheaper, maybe we could find a couple of administrators. The board would still be the board, but if you can have some hired people to take care of some of the registration stuff, maybe the statistical stuff and so on.
Okay.
It would be great to do, but no, there's nothing paid.
Okay, so let's jump into the number of divisions we have. When I started playing cricket in T&D, I started with your team, and we had 3 divisions then for adults, for grown-ups. 3rd division, 1st division, 2nd division, 1st division, actually 4. 3rd, 2nd, 1st, and Premier.
Yeah.
Now we have Elite, and we have S9 in senior cricket. Then we have morning T20s. Then this year, I think it was the first or second year when we have weekday T20. Second year. And of course, we have under 17, under 19, and under 15, if I'm not wrong.
Under 15, under 13, under 11.
13. Under 11? Whoa, I didn't know that actually.
Yeah.
So, managing all this cricket, again, this is a rhetorical question. But I do want to ask for the viewers, how is it helping cricket in Canada, cricket, Canadian cricket? Because at the end, everybody wants to see their country to play at the highest level.
Right.
They want our Canadian team to play the World Cups. How is this league contributing towards Cricket Canada?
So I would say at King City, we're able to provide some good turf wickets, early. A lot of other facilities now have turf wickets also. I'm not going to knock the facilities because I'm not a turf expert. However, I can say that the staff at King City are turf experts. They're not just, City of Brampton or City of Mississauga or City of Toronto staff that are trying to, fix a turf wicket. You need to have played cricket, have been a curator to know. So, playing in those kind of facilities helps. The high level of competition, like you mentioned the divisions. So I felt in those days is we had the Premier Division. Every division had 18 teams.
Right.
2 conferences of 9. I felt that that was too much. We didn't have enough players for that high level of caliber to fill 18 teams.
Right.
It created some very weak teams. So when I created the elite division, we reduced it to 9.
The quality went up because now
Reduced it
there's
to 9, yeah. Reduced it to 9, and now it was a higher level. And then Super 9 now, but initially it was a Super 6.
Right.
So then we further reduced that from 9 to 6. Which was, I say, perfect. Maybe now we're good for 9 teams, but at that time, 6 was good to have really high level cricket. Eventually, the board decided that no, we want to go back to 9.
Right.
So we increased it to 9. I really don't think, for a very long time, really it should ever change from 9. I think it should stay at 9 to create a high level of competition.
So that's amazing. We have the most. I have the opportunity to play cricket in Super 9. In Elite Division 1, that was the highest division. The competition level, I played cricket around the country. I played cricket in Calgary, even Michigan, Edmonton, Ottawa. By far, TND for 50 overs especially is one of the best and most competitive league. We talked about Maple Leaf Cricket Club. Is there people who are working, staff members, who have been working to make sure the quality of game goes up? Do you want to talk about any names who are really helping to make sure the quality of the cricket goes up?
Sure. So let's talk about some notables from the past. I've been around TND for a long time, but I didn't have to start TND. I had to keep it going. I had to try and improve it. Hats off to those ones that had to start it from scratch, from nowhere. I'll name you some of my people, my elders of cricket that I know, and I'm sure there was many before them. Austin Ward was the president before me. He's held many positions in Canadian cricket also, and he was still around in King City, helping out, using his expertise there. Unfortunately, a few of them have departed us, left this world. Norman Jackson, former vice president of cricket, TDCA. A very hard worker. Of course, a true and dear friend of mine, and yours too, Johnny Bujan. He was also part of, he was a TDCA board member and, ran a club. And I would say he was very instrumental in bringing some sort of professionalism to the game. Where he's, got funding elsewhere other than from the players itself to offer, free practices.
I'm unable to unhold myself. There are many names you've taken, but I know Johnny. I think talking about him just in a short bit is not enough. I will do a podcast just on his career in near future. But yeah, please continue.
So that's what Johnny had done for cricket. Leroy Gray.
Yes.
Was a thing. Norman, as I mentioned, Norman Jackson. Errol Townsend, Petra Pompey, Elvin Pompey. These are the people from the 70s where they had to go and place mats down and fix grounds themselves, maybe even cut the grass, and they did it even then for no money. And some of them are still around, given to the game. There's many, many more names, but like I said, these are the people. Martin Vieira, who was also a TD board member, and he was, manager of ICC Americas. He recently passed away. So there's very, very many names that have kept cricket going. I've started it, and I've just been, asked to keep it going, and we're looking for people to even keep it going further and making it even better, right? Like, it doesn't stop at me or any of the board. Like, that's where it goes.
Okay. Rashid bhai, again, I've been playing T&D for a long time. Part of my life has been spent on T&D, playing T&D cricket games. So thank you for all you have done. And most of the career I've played in T&D, you have been part of the board. You and the whole board, I want to really thank from myself and all the cricket fraternity. I'm pretty sure most of the cricketers, when they perform in other leagues around GTA, they're hoping that a strong team from S9 or Elite will pick them and put them in the T&D to play 50-over cricket. That being said, one last question, and then we'll play a rapid-fire game just to leave at the end, and we'll take a message from you. And the question is, we talked about shorter format of the game. T&D is still, as we discussed, that in your opinion and in my opinion, it's still one of the best in North America. What about T20? Is there any goals to improve the standards in T20 as well?
Again, T&D has a morning T20 league now.
Right.
Which is, again, we started it for better utilization of the grounds. T&D has one major restriction, and it's a positive restriction.
Okay.
The junior cricket.
Right.
Our focus is junior cricket, not T25 or T20. First priority goes to junior cricket, and then when we have grands left over, we use it to play T20 cricket.
Okay.
There's at least about 20 T20 teams in the morning league that we've had to unfortunately turn away.
Okay.
Which prompted the idea of the MLCC evening league.
Evening league, yeah.
It's running for 2 seasons. 8 teams play. It's not the easiest, on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday evening to get to King City by 5:30.
Yeah.
With our shortened daylight hours. However, it's been proven to be, quite successful. And I think there will be more teams. It's basically, it's a branch of TDCA, MLCC, but it's more geared towards raising some extra funds for MLCC itself.
Okay.
Right? MLCC is a private facility.
Yeah.
Cutting anything, insurance, repairs, it's on MLCC.
And they're actually very big part of T&D if you think about it, because majority of the games are played there. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Five grounds is there. It's actually a TDCA owned facility. Technically, the members of TDCA own it. However, it's governed by a trust.
Okay, great.
It just for the safekeeping purposes.
Okay. All right. Thank you again. I think I don't have any further question. I can keep talking to you about cricket all day long.
Cricket is cricket, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, but we have to cut it short because we're running out of time. So let me play a fun game with you, and I'm going to make a few inside jokes just to let you know, okay? So you have to answer rapidly and very quickly, okay? So we'll start with cricket itself. If Mohammed Sheikh is building a team and he has to pick one of the 2 names from the Canadian cricket legends, recent legends, who would he pick? Rizwan Cheema or Ashish Bagai? Quick.
Rizwan Cheema.
Rizwan Cheema, all right. Okay, so if we are talking...
He's my friend and he'll get mad at me if I don't pick. Rashid bhai, what are you doing? Ashish is gone for a while.
Ashish moved away, okay, fair enough. Umar Bhatti or Asinde Henry?
Henry Asinde.
This is a tough one, okay, because they both are current players, and I play with both of them, and they're my favorite left-arm spinners. Saad bin Zafar or Sheel Patel?
Saad
Zafar. All right, let's talk about international cricket a little bit. Australia or England?
Australia.
India, Australia?
India.
Okay. I'm not going to ask about Pakistan at all. Don't worry about it. All right, so this question I ask my cricketer guests. So, Test cricket, you have to pick one batsman, and the options are Test cricket again. Sachin Tendulkar or Virat Kohli, both at their peak.
Sachin Tendulkar.
What about ODI? Same question.
Between the two of them?
Yep.
Virat Kohli.
T20, of course, if you pick ODI. Okay. So Virat Kohli. So now T20 and ODI only. Rohit Sharma or Virat Kohli?
Virat Kohli.
All right. Uh, for T20 too, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If Canada makes it to semi-final of a World Cup, who would you want it to be facing, Australia or India?
India.
India. So you think Canada has more chance against India than Australia?
You see, let's be selfish here.
All right.
Win-win. Canada wins, I'm Canadian. India wins, I'm Indian, right?
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's actually
a win-win, right?
Very smart answer. Very smart answer. All right. Okay. So
I always like to think positive.
It's a very good answer. Very good answer. All right. So let's talk about a little bit of entertainment before I go to the personal inside jokes. Hollywood or Bollywood?
Bollywood.
All right. So I know the answer, but I want to do it for viewers. Salman Khan or Shah Rukh Khan?
I don't like either of them, but since you asked me, Shah Rukh Khan.
All right. Shah Rukh or Amir?
Amir Khan.
Madhuri or Kajol?
Oh, Madhuri.
Madhuri, of course. All right. Okay. So let's go to next generation. Kareena Kapoor or Katrina Kaif?
Kareena Kapoor.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. So you had. By the way, I'm making this joke. I'll tell you a history. I was batting with Rashid Bhai once, and I was batting on the other end at higher score, and I told him not play the fast bowler carefully because he's bowling good bouncers. This man went up and swept him for 6. So I'm talking about that era. You had option to play under captain. I'm gonna take 2 names from your team. Pick one: Tariq Khan or Atiq.
You're going to get me in trouble here, right?
I was waiting for this question since I started the show.
Yeah, you're going to get me in trouble here. I played most of it under Atiq.
Yeah.
Most recently with Tariq, but Atiq was unavailable, so
Yeah.
Tariq stepped up
Yeah.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I'll tell both of them if they're watching scoreboards, if it was up to me, if I wanted to be the captain, neither of you would ever be the captain of my team.
Very diplomatic answer. All right, so now it's not optional question. You just have to answer. Who is the best cricketer in Canada? I'm talking about, not talking about international cricket. Who's the best cricketer? Which Mohammed Sheikh thought, oh wow, this man is someone I really want to see play.
Currently playing or just like in general?
But all your career.
So I'll go with the current lot that have been playing and playing. You know, I think Saad Zafar has been very, very consistent. As you
Right.
can even see in the last few matches, you know, he comes in a certain position in the batting and holds up the batting. I mean, last game he was wicketless, but generally he takes a lot of wickets. And I also think he's been a gentleman.
Right.
Gentleman to the game. I mean, a Canadian, what a story, you know, the first GT20. Local Canadian boy wins the GT20 for his team.
That's amazing, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a great headline, no? 70 runs, I think not out in the finals for Vancouver Knights.
It was a big game.
Yeah,
Big game.
you know, like of all these big players, and our Saad Zafar, you know, went and won the Vancouver Knights the GT20. So I think he's been very consistent. He's very gentlemanly. Even now, he's quite an ambassador of the game. You can see him in the city of Brampton. Recently, Patrick Brown took him out to do a little bat signing with, you know, people to come and see.
Still promoting cricket. He's serving back to cricket. Yep, that's without a doubt.
You know, he's, you know, sorry, Sad, I don't mean this in a bad way, but, you know, everybody has careers come to an end at some point. You've had a storied career. And I can see a long future, you know, for him in some kind of cricket administration, coaching, and so on. And like he stayed out of controversy, and he's just been a gentlemanly player. So that's why I would, you know, pick him.
One last question, and that is a question which is not in rapid fire, but I do want to ask. You had a long career with cricket fraternity. Any moment or any news which disappointed you?
Honestly, I wouldn't say any specific news. Like I said, I told you I was a vice president. I did run for the position. I didn't win. I'm still that same supporter of Cricket Canada.
Right.
What was disappointing for me is all the people around me, how disappointed they were. You know, honestly, I wasn't disappointed because nothing is forever and nothing is guaranteed. Somebody wins, somebody loses. But the fact that everybody around me was, I mean, there was people scared to call me. Like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Hey, I'm fine." Like, why are you?
It's
But
not a
there,
big
but
deal.
the
Yeah.
deep concern that they had for me was kind of, disappointing to me that, oh my God, like people really, care that much. And yeah, that was about it. But, other than that, you try and stay positive. You hope the team, the team is on quite a slump right now. Like they're still, got a good position to stay in the top four, and I really hope they bounce back.
Inshallah.
Couple of games left in this tournament, and start playing like a team, and hopefully, they can be responsible in their batting and
Yeah,
bowling.
the whole Canadian cricket fraternity is looking up to that. Such a long career with TND, and there has been club which is older than Pakistan and India. A lot of people playing cricket. Any favorite club of yours? And I'm talking about the top division, not the lower divisions.
You know, I'm not going to be biased and say my own club. For a while, I was associated with Brampton Masters. Now it was JB Masters
Johnny
after
Bhujan.
Johnny Bhujan.
Yeah,
I highly respect the players, the high level players of that team. That team also moved over from the Commonwealth League into TND.
right.
And I notice when that happens, players will say, "I'm not." Their ego's too big for the game. I'm not playing third division cricket. See you guys. I'll come back when I'll meet you at the top, and they'll go and leave. Brampton Masters players stuck with the club. They won third division. They won consecutively, and made the way all the way to the top. They didn't
Right.
go and purchase a high level team already. They made the way to top, and that was all due to the loyalty of their players. Had their players not stuck with them and left like they do from other clubs, they probably would have still been in second or third division. But
Right.
because the players gave them the loyalty and stuck around, and then after Masters, there was a club called Popeyes, PCB.
Popeyes. Yeah.
Faisal Malik used to run the club. Again, high respect to him. Used to provide the games, the foods, the balls for the players.
Right.
Allowing the players to concentrate on their game, coming to play rather than worrying about, do I have enough money, right? Caribbean Limers, Vikings, Cavaliers, all these teams that used to sponsor their players and
Yeah.
work. Unfortunately, a lot of the teams have gone because money runs out,
Money runs out,
and some of the high level players have become accustomed to playing and not paying. Rather than paying, they want to get paid.
Yeah.
Not everybody can afford it.
very long, yeah.
There's no prize money. It's just a trophy and bragging rights.
Yeah.
So it's not up. Everybody's not able to do it. So.
Yeah. Nostalgic moment. I've been lucky enough to be part of that phase when Brampton Master from third division up. But anyways, thank you so much for joining us today. Any message for the viewers specifically? What would you like to tell us, our viewers?
I just want to tell all the viewers, especially the youth, work hard, play hard, be the best you can be. The unfortunate part is only 11 can go on that field. If you're good enough, your turn will come. Never give up, never be discouraged. There's many players that make late career moves. Some players get it early, and some players get to come back. I say this because I've been through a lot of cricket, a lot of players, a lot of youth who get very discouraged if they don't get selected when they felt that at the top of their game. Please don't do that. Continue to strive very hard, work very hard, watch your fitness, watch your discipline. Just because it's not international cricket doesn't mean you can misbehave in the league. It reflects on all of what you are. So be the best you can be.
Thank you so much, Arshad. It was a pleasure to have you. And again, I do want to tell the viewers before we leave that this man here is not just an administration person for me. He has been an older brother. He has been a friend. He has been a parental figure for me and many like me who have played cricket. And from myself and all of those kids, and even to come after us, who came after us and who will be coming, we are all thankful to you and everybody who has worked with you. That was the episode of Tea Time today. This was the first of the series. Again, we will bring other directors and presidents from other teams to talk about cricket. Stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon. See you next time.